In this lesson, we will consider a range of approaches to rewarding high performance, and examine the merits of these in increasing motivation, and in delivering the desired improvements in performance. The term pay for performance refers to a pay strategy where evaluations of individual and/or organizational performance have significant influence on the amount of pay increases or bonuses given to each employee. When a pay for performance system functions properly, outstanding performers will receive the greatest rewards, to acknowledge their superior contributions, and to motivate them to continue high performance. Average performers will receive substantially smaller raises, which may encourage them to work harder, to achieve larger raises in the future. Poor performers will receive no increase, which is intended to persuade them to improve their performance, or leave. In this lesson, we will examine the merits of some of the most commonly used programs for rewarding performance. Pay for performance can encompass a variety of rewards for above-average performance. The two most common are bonuses and variable annual pay increases. Two alternative options are gain sharing and stock options. Each of these has advantages and disadvantages, which we will now explore in some detail. Bonuses represent an amount of pay that is at risk every year. In contrast to base pay, which is stable and primarily reflects an employee's market value, bonuses should depend purely on performance, and are not guaranteed. Employees in these types of systems frequently receive a base pay that is considered comparable to average market rate. To facilitate recruitment and retention of a high-quality workforce, but additional dollars are distributed, often annually, on the basis of performance during the rating period. As a result, employees are guaranteed a certain salary, with the potential for earning more. As illustrated by the example shown in this diagram, bonuses serve to raise an employee's salary above average market rate, but only on an annual basis. In other words, each year an employee must earn an amount above the base rate of pay. Since each year's bonus is independent of the bonus earned in prior years, total salary can fluctuate dramatically, from year to year. When the employee excels, she may receive a sizable bonus, but if the employee's performance is average or lower, she may not receive a bonus, and her salary drops to the base rate. Advantages of bonuses include the following. Employee performance may vary from year to year, so an employee may deserve a bonus one year, but not the next. Since the increase resulting from bonuses does not carry over to subsequent years, organizations can distribute a larger pool of bonus money each year, rather than continue to fund performance-based pay increases from prior years. Organizations may use bonuses throughout the rating period to facilitate timeliness, thereby strengthening the connection in employees' minds between efforts and outcomes. If organizations direct funding for increases into a bonus pool, they may provide sizable bonuses to top performers. Disadvantages of using bonuses include the following. Putting a large amount of pay at risk to be earned each year makes the employee's salary less predictable. If base pay levels are not fully competitive, reliance on bonuses as a reward may increase turnover. To be successful, a culture change may be required to view bonuses as a mechanism for providing substantial amounts of money to recognize high performers. In contrast to bonuses, performance-based pay increases are incorporated into the employee's base pay and are usually only adjusted upward. Organizations differ in how they move employees through the performance-based pay scales. Some pay systems include predetermined levels, which employees step through in an orderly manner, while others allow the supervisors to determine salary amounts, anywhere within a broad range. The diagram here demonstrates how performance-based pay increases can operate. As in the prior example, average market rate may be used to set a baseline for pay. The employee may be hired at this rate, but salary progression depends primarily upon performance. When the employee's performance warrants a raise during years 2, 4 and 5, the employee receives an increase. The upward trend highlights the main difference between bonuses and performance-based pay increases. Pay increases are typically treated as permanent increases. Typical elements of a gain-sharing plan include the following. Gains and resulting payouts are self-funded, based on savings generated by improved performance. Gain-sharing commonly applies to a single site or standalone organization. Many plans often have a year-end reserve fund to account for deficit periods. Employees often are involved with the design process. Finally, a supporting employee involvement system is part of the plan, in order to drive improvement initiatives. Some of the advantages of gain sharing include: it helps companies achieve sustained improvement in key performance measures. Gain sharing rewards only performance improvement. The payouts are self-funded from savings generated by the plan. It also aligns employees to organization goals and fosters a culture of continuous improvement. Gain sharing also increases the feeling of ownership and accountability, and enhances the level of involvement, teamwork and cooperation. And finally, it promotes morale, pride, and more positive attitudes toward the organization. And some of the disadvantages of gain sharing include: measures are narrower than organization-wide profit, and therefore gains may be paid, even though profits may be down. Gain sharing requires a participative management style. It also requires that management openly shares information related to performance measures. Employees may question or challenge management decisions that may adversely impact a gain. Gain sharing may increase the level of organizational stress, since everyone has more of a financial stake in the organization's success. Finally, it applies best to a work environment that requires teamwork and collaboration, rather than individual entrepreneurship. So, when does gain sharing work best? Executives and managers must be educated in order to develop a clear understanding of the gain sharing philosophy and the management style required for success. If an organization moves forward with the plan, it is best to form a team of employees to work on various elements of the project. The team is involved in preparing many of the rules of the plan, and final approval for the plan details come from top management. The team is then responsible for presenting and communicating the plan details. Supervisors and managers are trained in the relationship of their role toward the plan. Teams are formed and trained in order to work on performance enhancement initiatives. Finally, it's best to have an expert on gain sharing to guide and facilitate the process, in order to work through the pitfalls and to avoid payout out of false gains. Employee stock options are a type of equity compensation, given by companies to some employees or executives, that effectively amount to call options. Rather than granting shares of stock directly, the company gives derivative options on the stock instead. These options come in the form of regular call options, and give the employee the right to buy the company's stock at a specified price, for a finite period of time. Terms of ESOs will be fully spelled out for an employee, in an employee stock options agreement. Here are some of the advantages of stock options. They allow a company to share ownership with the employees. They are used to align the interests of the employees with those of the company. They offer employees an opportunity to have ownership in the company they work for. They are a cost-effective company benefit that can help make employment packages more attractive. They may increase staff retention, as the vesting of stock options stipulates that require employees to remain employed for a certain period of time before the shares can be issued and sold. Employees can reap some of the financial rewards of a successful business, which increases dedication for all employees involved, as they are more invested in the company and its results. Finally, company stock options allow employees to invest without paying brokers' fees. And here are some of the disadvantages of stock options. In a down market, they can quickly become valueless. Although stock option plans offer many advantages, the tax implications for employees can be complicated. Additionally, they can lead to dilution of stock value, and dilution can be very costly to shareholders over the long run. Stock options can also result in higher levels of compensation of executives for mediocre business results. Finally, an individual employee must rely on the collective output of their co-workers and management in order to receive a bonus. What are important considerations when implementing stock options? First, how much stock will the company be willing to sell? Next, who will receive the options? The company must also decide how many options are available to be sold in the future. And finally, the company must decide, is this a permanent part of the benefit plan, or just an incentive? Paying for performance should form an integral element of your strategy for creating a high-performance organization. Clearly, there are many variables to consider in selecting the best model for your organization. While organizations can learn from the experience of others, ultimately, Each organization must consider the issues carefully in order to make the best decisions given their unique circumstances. Although paying for performance requires attention to an extensive list of serious issues, considering them in advance of implementation enables organizations to lay the groundwork for a successful performance-based compensation system. You will find some additional articles on performance pay models in the reference files for this course.
Want to learn more about this subject? Then click on our website to view the full course. Why not subscribe and get access to free articles and special offers? Join the Global Career Highway now.